Hey there, everybody. New studio, new intro. I'm just here to remind you guys before you listen to today's episode, make sure you follow the show and subscribe wherever you listen. If you watch the show on YouTube, make sure you subscribe there, you comment, you like, and you share. Also, follow my social media, all of it, both Instagrams, my Twitter, follow it all. Your life is to be consumed by my life. Tell everybody that you know about me. Start conversations with the fact that the Smoking Simian is your favorite podcast. Bombard everyone that you know and love with the Smoking Simian. Send them links day in and day out of my show, of the episodes, of my posts. Get thrown out of your house because the only thing that you care about is the Smoking Simian. Do it. Enjoy today's episode. Bye. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to the show on this lovely Monday, June the 6th. It is the day after my birthday for you guys. For me, right now, as we speak, it is exactly my birthday. Me and my mom, we share the same birthday, June 5th. On her birthday, she was stuck pushing me out. How's that for a birthday gift, Ma? Thanks, Mom. You spent your whole birthday in pain, getting your insides ripped apart, and initially beginning the 18-year long run of supporting a menace to society, supporting and raising a menace to society. Congratulations, Mom. This is what you got. You got me, an animal who sits in his house and screams into a microphone all alone, with nobody around and very minimal people listening. But yes, right now it is my birthday. I will take money still. No, I don't know. Like most men, like most guys that have not much to, not much to live for. No, I don't want to say that, but a lot of guys, they don't care about their birthday. You get to a certain age, you don't care about your birthday. I stopped caring about my birthday years ago. I'm 25. When was the last time I cared about my birthday? 16, 18, maybe? Maybe. 18 was the first year I guess I got a little bit for my birthday. A little na. So, maybe that was a good one. Hot coffee. I love it. I've been drinking the fuck out of coffee recently. But yeah, I don't know. I don't care about my birthday. I feel like it's it's an accident, right? These people that are grown people and they take a whole week out, or they do, they got to make a big fucking deal about their birthday. Man or woman, it don't matter to me. You're kind of an idiot, right? It's all good. Be happy for your birthday, right? You don't have to be a miserable fuck like me, but for the most part, it's it's a complete accident. Not for the most part. For the entire thing, actually, it is a complete improbable accident that you're even here. Which, for some people, that's enough motivation to have a celebration, to celebrate. Celebrate for a whole week. It's my birthday. I'm not supposed to be here. Yeah, I guess you could look at it that way. I guess I look at it the worst way, right? I was not supposed to be here. Let me not celebrate it at all. Fuck that. Hell no. It is funny though, right? For men specifically, we just, at some point, we don't give a fuck about our birthdays. We get mad if people give us things on our birthday. We don't want, you see like older men. I used to work with, my old boss, Alducci, Albanese. Shout out. I haven't seen him in a while, Aldo. But he is a classic example of a hard Italian man who, you give him a gift, especially money, on his birthday, he's liable to go postal. He's liable to kill. That is what it is with the more masculine. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, there we go. The more masculine the man, the more macho, the less they care. The less they care about their birthday. And I'm not saying, I'm some macho tough guy, but when you go to different I guess generations. When you look at different generations, men just don't care about their birthdays. They don't. I mean, women, they care about their birthdays. They really do. A lot of the times they do something, right? They do something. Not all of them. Some girls, they don't want to do shit for their birthday. I get it. But when we're talking in, I don't want to say general. Yeah, I guess generals, or the overall population. Women like to do more for their birthdays. But they get mad when you ask how old they are. It's funny, right? They will have a big celebration. They'll have a sash. They'll have balloons that say their age for the whole day. For the whole day, they'll walk around with mimosa glasses, clinging them, and, a big 2 silver balloons that says 4 and 3, right? And you hold them, and you take pictures and tiaras, and you get hammered, and, you cheat on your husband or whatever the fuck you do. And that whole time, they are fine with broadcasting to the entire world how old they are. Not a problem. But I guess when that event isn't going on, that question is off limits, right? It's like if they were. It's like if you were on a losing weight, right, and you were always self-conscious about your weight, and you never really entertained the question when people asked, "Hey, what do you weigh?" You never really entertained the question. But now that you're losing weight, now that you're having a fun time doing it, and you've really made the change, you just broadcast your weight to anybody. People walk by, "Hey, I'm 210 pounds. Hey, how are you? 210 pounds right now." "Yeah." "Hey, I'm 210 pounds. Thanks." It's just weird. It's a very weird thing. But as I sit here in front of you guys, or, in the same car with you guys, or wherever the fuck you're listening, on the beach. I hope you don't listen to this shit on the beach. Good God. Scare everyone away. Who listens to a podcast on the beach? I don't know why I thought of that. But I'm here on a Sunday morning. I am fresh off of a double at Mohegan Sun. A double meaning 13-hour shift to where I made, peanuts, if we're being real. I made not much money at all. I'm doing it again today for the Celtics. You guys, by now, will know who won the game. I could not care less. But adding to the list of sports that, nobody cares about except for me, right? Sports that I've only decided to care about because I work in the sports book and there's always sports on. Another one that I've added to that list is tennis. Holy fucking Christ, man. Whoever said... Nobody has told me how crazy tennis actually is. You could play tennis for 4 hours? The French Open was this past weekend. It might still be going on. I have no clue. But the semifinals match between what was it, Mecic and some other fucking guy. I don't know. Some real tall looking like Turkish dude. I don't know. He might not be Turkish. Who gives a fuck? They played for 4 hours, man. How the fuck do you do anything like that for 4 hours? Just back and forth, running side to side, lateral movement, and there's so many tiers of scoring. You got to get best out of whatever, 4 or 5. Well, 4 wouldn't work. Best out of 5. Right? It could be 4, right? You could do that if you get to 3 before the other guy. I think it's something like that. Then you get a point, and then the points, and then there's, best out of 7 there, and then you just keep going and going and going and going and going. It's crazy, guys. Tennis is fucking nuts, and I'm adding that to the list of sports that, let's say, abstract sports. Abstract over here, even though I'm from Rhode Island, and that's where the Tennis Hall of Fame is in Newport. I've never been once. I've never played tennis. I've never cared to even watch. But now that it's been on, I mean, fuck. It's crazy. It's crazy how you get a different outlook on certain I guess everything, but I remember when I was a kid, when I was in high school, and there were people doing different sports and shit. I had no appreciation for anything that was easier than wrestling. Right? Any sport that, in my mind, I thought was easier than wrestling, I had zero appreciation for. It could be because we were, we were all friends and we all wrestled together. We kind of had closed minds, right? We used to say, if you drive with both hands, you're a bitch, right? That's about as closed-minded as it gets. But no, realistically, there'd be people playing tennis or, people doing, people swimming or cross-country. And when I look at that shit now, I mean, good God. Imagine in high school, you're a kid and you're trying to get that extracurricular shit and you play tennis and fucking imagine being the parents of a kid that plays tennis. My God, those sporting events must be murderous. Murderous. My parents didn't want to watch me in a fucking karate tournament that would last 2 hours. And that's fighting. I'm in there fighting people. And you expect them, you expect me to sit down for 6.5 hours and watch you hit a fucking yellow ball back and forth? Score fucking all kind of different, I don't know. Tennis is crazy. I always thought tennis was like golf in the sense that it's just a absolute leisure sport. Like leisure sport for rich people. They don't even try to get good. The people at the professional level are they were rich and they were able to, keep to just like any other sport, right? Not any other sport, but any other sport that involves a ball or a goal or a fucking, all those. I've already said that on here before, but people like to have this imaginary fucking idea of these sports to where, this guy, he came from nothing and now he's the best player in the NFL, or this guy, his family dropped him off in a dumpster when he was 7 years old and he had to crawl, and now he's the MVP in the NBA, and people like to mask that shit over the true reality. And there are some outliers where that does happen, right? The undrafted guys, the guys that end up being in the sport but going through in an unconventional way. Maybe they didn't go to a D1 college. Maybe it took them a couple extra years to get noticed in the draft and the combine and all this shit to get invited to the combine. I don't even know how you go about that, right? How do you even go about training and then getting called to the combine when you're not in college anymore and you're just training on your own? That's crazy, right? That is crazy, but that is very rare in all of sports, right? Except for combat sports, which I'll get to in a minute, which I vehemently defend till the end of time because they are, in fact, the best sports. But this idea that these athletes, yes, they came from nothing, but the majority of them had a good advantage with some pretty solid genetics, right? I mean, every professional athlete, not all of them, but a lot of them are genetic freaks, right? To even be in the NBA, you have to be somewhat of a genetic freak. You can't be 5'10", whatever the fucking average height of a male is. You can't even be 6 foot and be in the NBA. You can, sure, if you're Allen Iverson. If you're Nate Robinson, if you're one of these guys who's able to cut the mustard, right? That's such a stupid fucking... That is a stupid saying. I don't even know what that means. But, first of all, they're born genetically gifted. A lot of these guys. A lot of them, right? Not all of them, but a lot of them, right? Most of them. Then, you have to have... A lot of these guys have people in their family. They have resources. We like to think that these guys live in fucking shoe boxes and then all of a sudden magically get to be, paid millions and millions of dollars playing a game, right? We forget that they go to a very, very good school. on most of the time a sports scholarship, right? Which is fine. But how do you think they get to that point? How do you think they get so good? They don't just sit around. They practice, totally. But they don't just sit. What about when it comes to competition? They need experience in competition. So what happens? They got a family member who almost made it to the MLB, or did make it to, or played on a farm team, or played in college, knows the process, knows what the kid has to do, is willing to pay to bring him to all these different games and the AAU and the Pop Warner and all this shit. They're fine. They don't mind driving a couple hours. And you got to have a crazy family member that wants you to do it. And obviously you want to do it. But my point is that these athletes typically have support. And being a professional athlete, one of the hardest things you can do in the entire world. Only a select few people can do that. But so is, so's fucking brain surgery on children. Right? That's one of the hardest fucking things to do in the world, and not everybody can do that. Right? Not everybody can do that. But I'll tell you right now, I would like to think that it is, the bar of entry is probably much higher to become a professional athlete than it is to be a brain surgeon. It is, right? It's much harder to become a professional athlete than it is. So it is harder. It is harder to be an athlete, to become an athlete, right? To become a professional, to get paid for whatever sport that you fucking have dedicated your entire life to. It is harder to do that than it is to become a brain surgeon, right? And not everybody can do either one, but more people can become brain surgeons. Because a lot of the time, all it takes is them wanting to do it. Whereas to become a professional athlete, you probably need to come from a sporty family, right? Kind of. You got to come from a family that is willing to sit through your games and willing to entertain your practices. You can't come from an immigrant family. Mom, I got practice. It's 10 a.m. on a Saturday. I don't give a fuck. You better get outside and cut the goddamn lawn. Go outside and mulch. That'll be good practice for you. Go outside and mulch. I worked all fucking week. I'm not taking your ass to that goddamn game. Fuck you. It is though, right? That's the situation. And I'm not saying these guys. There's not some guys who got it out the mud and Malcolm Butler worked at Popeyes and that's great. That's great. I love that. But let's not pretend that, these guys didn't have pretty decent lives on the come up. The hardest thing they had to do was learn how to run routes. Again, tough to do at the professional level, but this is a game we're talking about here. This is a game, Now, the outlier in this are combat sports. Fighters are typically born from broke, fucking terrible conditions. You can start fighting at whatever fucking age you want. If you didn't make it to one of these big leagues to become a whatever player, you can become a fighter. UFC, or MMA, boxing, even jiu-jitsu. You could. There's a market for that too now. You can make, if you're a professional, you can make a living traveling, doing the whole thing. There's certain professions that literally there's more chance for failure because of the adversity, I guess, that the person faces. Whereas in my mind, the people that make it to the big sports leagues were meant to. Most of them were meant to do that. They were bred to do that. They were born. OBJ, his dad played at LSU. His mom went to LSU. They made him on LSU's campus. He went to LSU. Moved and then went to the NFL. I don't know if his dad went to the NFL, but who knows, right? These guys, Steph Curry and his brother, both NBA. That's not a fucking coincidence, guys. It's not. It's not a coincidence. It's a coincidence if you and your brother run into each other when you're buying weed, and you didn't know you had the same dealer, that's a coincidence. The fact that both you guys are in the NBA, one of you guys is the best shooter of all fucking time. The other guy's pretty good too. So, I don't know. Now, to become the best at anything of all time, of anything, is a pretty fucking ridiculous feat in and of itself. And to get to that point, that's different, right? Not saying you don't have every advantage in the world, but it is different. That takes a lot more work. You got to be better than all these guys that have been doing the same shit that you have done, for your whole fucking life. And now you have separated yourself from them. That's different. You're an outlier. Congratulations. All I'm saying is that to get to that point, you had a lot of help. You went to a nice college. You got pushed through, right? Because you were a D1 athlete, probably somewhere in the South, right? You went to Alabama, and, you got D's in all your classes, but because you win football games, because you're the star, they push you through. You get, B's, whatever the fuck they turn them to. Sometimes you even get paid, which I think you all should. But right now, if it's against the rules and you're getting paid, then that's some shiesty shit. I don't care. I love shiesty shit. I want people to die. I want people to get robbed. I love all that stuff. But what I'm saying is, athletes have it much easier on the come up than most people think. That's my point. And it happens all throughout school, right? When you're in high school, the teacher the principal high fives the fucking quarterback, right? Walks back, good game Friday. Ha ha. I'm cool. I'm the boss over all you children. But this guy, he knows what the fuck he's doing. He's going somewhere. It is weird, right? How, the sports stars get so much recognition even as children. Even as children in high school, they are valued over, a kid that won the science Olympiad, right? All right, guys, the Titans are I don't know, fucking Marlboro Titans this week. We had a great game against the fucking Louisiana buttfucks in our cross-country trip. What a great time. We won. We're going on to the next round. We need to praise these boys. They work so goddamn hard. What a game that was. What a thriller. They have Louisville next. They're going to be back. While everyone's in class suffering, they are out in the field having fun, traveling, right? They get to travel. They're a great team, right? Oh, my God, guys, we got to praise them. Oh, and by the way, Becky O'Dogfarts, she won she won the mock trial. Who cares, really? But anyway, Jason, he threw for 1,500 yards, and, it's weird. It's very weird. It's because it's more fun, guys. I don't know why I'm saying it's weird. It's fun. It's funner. It's funner. More fun. That's what the people want to watch. They want to watch kids running around giving each other CTE. I understand. I love death and destruction. The other day, I was outside of my house, outside of my apartment building, and the people in this area never cease to amaze me. Right now, I have the windows open in here. You guys might be hearing some of what's going on outside. There's birds and shit chirping. For once, there isn't a fucking seagull making any noise. Every night when I finally lay my head down, there is a seagull who I think knows I'm living here, knows I hate this fucking place, and I think he just sits outside my window and just makes a fucking cause every night. And you can't kill a seagull because that is bad luck. Remember from the lighthouse? You want to get stuck on the lighthouse, nothing to eat, end up fucking a guy or close to it? God, nobody wants that. End up delusional, fucking a guy? Oh, that doesn't sound good. But I went outside to grab something in my car, and I was going to come back in the house. And this homeless guy, which there's a lot of around here, this homeless guy from super far away, I'd have to say over 100 feet, far away. I'm in the parking lot. He's in the street, across the street. And he gives me that, he's looking at me. He's with a woman. right? Maybe his homeless lady. She kind of didn't look homeless. He looked in bad shape. She looked like she could have been homeless, or she's like his daughter who is, every time they hang out, it's a sad situation. He can't do anything for her. She can't do anything for him. She wishes she could help. She knows he's thrown his life away. He hasn't been the same since mom left him, and he's just, buries his feelings down in a bottle, and, that's kind of what the situation looked like. But who knows? And he's over across the street trying to get my attention. He's nodding at me. Hey, man, do you know where the free breakfast is? And in my head, I'm like, no, but I'll come with you if you find out. And he's like, you got a phone that you could look it up on? I'm like, no, my phone's upstairs. And I guess they do a free breakfast around here for the homeless. No wonder there's so fucking many of them. No wonder. Build it and they will come, right? Kevin Costner, Field of Dreams. Build it and they will come. Give free food to the homeless and they will come to my doorstep and bug me about it. So he's like, hey, man, you got a phone to look it up? And I'm like, no, I don't. It's in the house. And he's like, well, this is the part. This really got me. I have never heard something like this in my life. And before I tell you this part, I want to tell you that this might be one of the more outrageous moments I've ever had with a homeless person asking me for anything. And before I tell you what actually happened, I got to tell you this other story. One time I was walking through New York, obviously homeless fucking bum central, and this guy comes up to me, mean mugging, angry face, right? One eyebrow raised, looking mad and confused at the same time, confused that I wouldn't give him any money because he stops, he's walking, I'm walking, he's walking, he stops in the middle of everything, looks me dead in the face, puts his hand out with an open palm facing the sky. Looks at me, eyebrow raised, angry and confused that I'm not putting $300 in his hand, in his palm, just looking at me, angry, didn't say a word, didn't even ask, didn't do nothing. That up until last Friday, I think it was last Friday. That up until last Friday was the funniest, weirdest homeless moment I've ever had. This guy might have taken the cake. This guy goes, hey, do you think that I could wash your car and you grab us some food from upstairs? That's what he said. I'll wash your car and you can grab us some food from upstairs. First of all, my first question is, how are you going to wash my car? That's what I want to know. How are you going to do I have to supply the tools to wash my car? Do you need a bucket and a sponge and soap and fucking tire shiner and rim cleaner and rag? You need rags too? You want me to get all that for you? Or do you have it on you? It doesn't look like you have much on you. Do you have to go back to wherever the fuck you're staying? Is that what you have to do? You have to go back and get your car washing kit because this is something you do often, right? Or are you just expecting me to say yes so that, or are you just saying that to justify, there's a return of, or a switch of services here. You wash my car, I give you a sandwich. Is that what you're looking for? Are you just saying that so I say, oh, no, you don't got to do that. Let me go in the house. Let me get your filet mignon ready. I'll make you some potatoes. Both you guys, just wait out here. I'll come out with it. You guys can eat out here. And you can even take the plates and the knife and the fork and everything. Here, take my wallet. Here are my keys. Fuck washing my car. Take my car. Go upstairs in there. Take anything you want. Xbox, TV, cameras, whatever the fuck you want. It's all yours, man. You offered to wash my car. An empty offer, I know, but I want to be a good guy and I want to give you everything. Is that what you were looking for, sir? How are you going to wash my car? There's not even a hose spigot anywhere around here. There isn't any. You should have offered something else. If you offered something that in my mind I thought I could benefit from, maybe. If you said, hey man, I'll produce your podcast. I was Jamie Vernon before he, I was the one who started JRE. The first 5 episodes were me, and we got so big in those first 5 episodes that I started doing heroin. Then I moved to New London, Connecticut, because Joe got rid of me. But I could produce a hell of a podcast, and if you want, I'll do that for you in exchange for food. Now, if you gave me something like that to work with, then hey, maybe we make it happen. But you didn't. You didn't offer me anything like that. You wanted to wash my car with no supplies, no tools, nothing. How, like, he set up, like, can I wash your car? You bring us some food? This guy needs to come look at my cabinets. I haven't gone shopping in a month, which is good. I haven't missed meals, right? I'm not saying that I haven't gone shopping, because I couldn't. I haven't gone shopping because I didn't need to. I had made a big shopping the first time a month ago, and I'm good now, right? Now I need to go shopping again. But if this guy came in here, he would say, you know what? I think I'm going to try my luck walking all over this town looking for the free breakfast because I have pretty much nothing in here. I could offer him a can of sardines. He could get a scoop of peanut butter if he'd like. That's pretty much all I have in here. I can make him a cocktail, which I'm sure he would love. But that's pretty much all I would be able to offer. And then he said one other thing. I forgot what it was. I thought it was funny, too. He probably asked me for some money. He's like, $3? You give me $3? He went through like a Rolodex of questions, right? First, and they got worse and worse as they went on, right? First, it was, where's the free homeless breakfast? Do you know where that is? Do you know where the free homeless breakfast is? No, sorry, I don't. Next, hey, do you have just slowly losing more and more hope, right? That's where this guy was. He was just slowly, and his lady was pretty. The woman he was with was a pretty lady, and I'm telling you, she didn't look homeless. I don't know the situation. He looked like he fell off a train, right? That's what this guy looked like. He was doing the pull up the pant leg on one side, right, to rock where you're from New London, baby. Pulling that shit up. That's what, Eastern Connecticut, so it would be the right side. Right? That's what you got. I'm the New London, baby. I don't know why I made him sound like that. It was some white guy with blonde hair. But, again, more and more hopeless. Less hope as the questions went on. Do you know where the free homeless meal is? No, I don't. Do you have a phone that you could look it up on? No, it's upstairs. Hey, do you think I could wash your car for some food? No, you can't. Could I have $2? Could I have $2? That's the core pitch. That is the core theme of every, no matter what you do, any conversation you have with a homeless person in any capacity, at all, the point for them is to get to, hey, could I have a couple dollars? Every time, man. That's my third encounter here with a very creative homeless person or a creative person who needs money, right? Very creative. That guy was good, right? A little more blatant, a little more down your gullet approach, right? Bother you. But another guy, I don't think he was homeless, but he came up to me drinking, right? I got out of my car. He's waving at me. I'm talking on the phone to Caroline. He's like, hey, smiling, Hispanic guy. Asking me all the time questions. Where do you live? Do you live around here? Yeah, I live right over there. Yeah, whatever. And he goes, I don't drink at these bars. Slurring like a motherfucker. I don't drink. No. What do you mean? Drink? I don't drink at these. No. What? Who's drink? I'll have a water. But I don't drink. What? You got You got something to drink? You know? That's how the guy was fucking basically talking to me. And he shows me a picture, generic picture, of some fucking kid in a hospital bed with a breathing tube down his throat. And, you know, it was like a screenshot picture. You could tell it was a screenshot. It wasn't fucking... I have no doubt in my mind that shit was fake. And he goes, "This is my little boy." He starts putting on an act. His voice is quivering. "It's my little boy. We don't know. We don't know how he's gonna... Oh, who knows? You know, we don't know. Do you think you could give me, $3, $4? $3, $4? That kid is in terrible shape. If you actually have to worry about that kid, if that's your actual kid, which I don't think it was, but if that's your actual kid, you want $3? What the fuck is that going to do? What are you going to do with $3 for that child? That kid looks like his windpipe is broken. Looks like every rib that he has been turned into dust. That kid is mangled. He's lying in a bed. That kid is in terrible shape. If you have to take care of that kid, you're going to need more than $3, buddy. That's the thing, right? That's the thing. Would you ever go up? I mean, people are whatever, but if your kid was in a murderous accident, that's what he said. My child was in an accident. He lives in Massachusetts, right? My little baby boy, he got in an accident. And, if your kid was in that predicament, I don't know if I'm begging for money from anybody, right? I'd be with him. What are you doing over here? He said something about Massachusetts, middle of Massachusetts, northern. I don't know what he said exactly, but either way, you're at least an hour from Massachusetts, buddy. You should probably be sitting next to that kid, if that's your kid, which it's not. So get the fuck out of my face. And then he walks by me. I'm standing outside. He walks by me, at night, smoking a CBD cig because they're nice. They calm me down. CBD cigs, very nice. And you still look just as cool as you would smoking a real cigarette, which I've never ever done. Guys, I've never ever even hit a cigarette. But my point, back to what the fuck I was saying. He comes, walks past me, same guy. He goes, "Hey," he asked me something in Spanish. And I'm like, "Yeah, hey, how are you?" And he's like, "Oh, you don't speak Spanish. You look Spanish." He's like, "You live over here?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I met you the other night." This guy was happy right now. He's happy as he's walking by. Ha ha. Kid in the hospital, right? Kid dying in the fucking hospital. Hold on. I gotta put my mom on silent. She's calling me because it's our birthday. I'm podcasting, Ma. I'll get back to you. Don't worry about it. It'll still be our birthday. But no, happy. This guy's happy, walking by. Hee hee ho ho, ba da ba la la bamba, walking by singing. And he, I said, "Yeah, I met you the other day across the street." And he goes, "Oh yeah, my boy. Yeah, he's not doing good, man. He's not doing good. Keep him in your prayers." Walks off. All I could think is, wow, this guy picked the wrong guy to ask about prayers and to tell me about his kid, right? As you all know, I welcome the death of... I welcome it. I welcome death. Come on. Take them all. Take them all. No. And the praying part, right? The praying, whatever. But, and the third guy, right? The third ballsy homeless person. This guy is dead annoying. I haven't seen him in a while. I hope, who knows? Who knows where the fuck he is? Maybe his $1 million idea that he's been working on for years has finally caught some traction, and he went on Shark Tank, and Mark Cuban offered him a whole bunch of money. I feel like my family's the only people that still leaves voicemails. If you're not a boss or someone trying to get in touch with someone about a job or a sale or some shit, why are you leaving voicemails? I don't listen to them. I delete them immediately. I look at the little transcribed thing, and if it's some nonsense, especially if you're someone in my family, just shoot me a text, or I saw that you called me. It's okay. Just a word to the wise. Stop with these fucking voicemails, please. No one wants to hear them. They don't. I don't care who you are, where you're from. That's my mother calling me on my birthday, and I still don't want to know what she said on the voicemail. We're going to talk on the phone in 10 minutes. Once I'm done with this fucking thing, I'm going to call her. It's like, you know. But anyway, third homeless guy. This guy came up to me twice. I've had 2 encounters with this guy. He came up to me while I was sitting in my car. I was doing Uber Eats. I was sitting in a CVS parking lot waiting for the next fucking whatever, next order to pop up. And this guy comes up to me. He sees my Rhode Island license plate. He goes, "Hey, man, you're from Rhode Island? Young kid. You're from Rhode Island?" "Yeah, I am. I used to live on Little Italy." Little Italy. I'm like, "Yeah, Federal Hill. Yeah, I used to work there." And he's talking to me. He's talking to me all normal, and I know he's not normal. Well, I know he's abnormal. Let's put it that way. He's in tattered clothing. His eyes look like he just witnessed his buddy get fucking chopped apart. He's got the 1,000-yard stare like a Vietnam vet covered in gangrene. Saw his buddies get covered in gangrene, and he's the only one that got away, was to be able to run behind the tree line and live and get picked up at the LZ and the whole shit. But that's what this guy looked like, and he's having, again, very creative, having a normal conversation, breaking the ice, not just coming up and saying, "Got any change?" No. These guys are calculated around here. And he's talking about, yeah, right, no, yeah, Providence, nice, good place, yeah. And then he looks at me and he's like, "You ever been homeless before?" I said, "No," but in my mind I'm thinking, I'm a bad week from being there with you, buddy. Which is why a lot of the times I don't have money to give. A lot of the times I don't have money to give people. But, this situation was no different. I didn't have any money for that guy. But he, again, creative, talking to me, whatever. He's like, "You ever been homeless before?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Man, it sucks. I've been out here for about 2 weeks. Freshly homeless. Right? Sometimes you see homeless guys, you're like, man, that guy was probably born into it. Or he's been homeless for a fucking while. That's an older man. He's probably been homeless for a while. That guy's a vet, This kid could have been a vet. He could have been. I feel like he had some kind of camo on. I don't know. Maybe he was. Maybe he wasn't. Doesn't matter. But I'm like, "Yeah, no, never been homeless, buddy. Sorry. Wish I could help, but I can't." And and that was it. The second time I met that guy, I was in the laundromat. Which, by the way, the laundromat I work at, the laundromat I go to is such a weird place. There's never any employees. There's not even anywhere for an employee to stand or sit. There's a sign on a door that says employees only. And I'm convinced that on the other side of that door, it's a closet where they put a guy to sit, and he comes out when nobody's there, and he cleans. That is what I think. He sits there. There's not even any kind of entertainment. There's not a TV. There's not a radio. They take his phone. They just force him to sit in that room, sit in that goddamn closet alone, listening to everybody else walk in there and people speaking different languages and people talking about nonsense and, people watching things on their phone. And he has to sit there and bang his head against the wall all goddamn day until people leave, until it's completely empty. And then as soon as somebody runs in, he has to run back in his closet. He can't let anyone know because I've never seen anybody that works there. I have not yet. There's not even a desk. There's nobody to ask questions to. It's not like there's a ton of questions at the laundromat. But if you did have one, right? If the thing ate your dollar and you didn't get your quarters back, there's got to be someone to help you. Not here. Truman Street Laundry. Go ahead. Check it out. Open 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day, 7 days a week. Both doors wide open. Just wide open. Nobody in there. Both doors wide open. Just a sign that says 24-hour surveillance. Right? That's enough to scare people. And I'm sure there is. Maybe they live, in the area. Maybe they're right next door. Who knows? But this laundromat is very small. It's cheap. And this guy just kind of walks in. No intentions of doing laundry. No intentions. Just sit down next to me. Doesn't recognize me and goes, Hey, man, how you doing? Beautiful day, huh? Doing it again. Breaking the ice. Yeah, man, how you doing? My mind, I already know what the fuck's coming. He doesn't remember me. I remember him. He, "Hey, man, you have any idea where I can get some food? Is there a shelter or anything around here?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. I'm not from around here." He's like, "Man, I've been outside for 8 days, 10 days, whatever he said." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, that's rough. That sucks. I guess. What the fuck do you want me to say here? And he's like, you got any money? Basically, right? You got any coins? Yes, but I my shit's on the spin cycle. My coins are for that and nothing else, realistically. So there you go. New London has some of the craftiest homeless people around. They do. They have some of the veterans of the game, is what it seems to be. These guys are willing to negotiate. They're willing to negotiate. They're willing to tug at your heartstrings to do something, right? They're willing to try, and that's great. That's great. I'm sure they get nowhere with that tactic as well. I am positive that they would have better results if they just stood on the side of the highway, stood on an off-ramp of a highway with a sign. You see more people, there's a higher chance, right? I'm thinking logistically, right? Logistically, as a homeless person, you want to be in front of as many people as you. It's a numbers game, right? It's like sales. Some salesmen will say, hey, don't waste your time trying to sell to people that don't want it, right? You have to concentrate your market, right? Get to the people. Try and do what these guys are doing. Individual pockets. Hey, let me go to that guy. Let me go to that guy. Small, little things, You might get $2 as opposed to 30 cents that day, right? If you're, you might get a higher volume, but you'll get less money if you're in a populated area. You'll get ignored more, the whole deal. But it's two schools of thought, right? Two schools of thought when you're homeless. Am I going to try and make a connection with this guy as I'm asking him for money? Or am I just going to stand on the side of the highway and try and get as many numbers as I can, see as many people as I fucking can, and try and make it that way? I don't know. I would think logistically the best way to do it, the best way to spend your time is to panhandle where the most people are. Go somewhere populated, somewhere where it doesn't get super cold. You can do it year-round. There's no off-season when you're homeless. Zero off-season when you're homeless, baby. So, again, these guys, ingenious, some of these guys. They probably get nowhere, Maybe if they transferred those skills to sales, maybe things would change. But nonetheless, this past weekend, there's been something that I've been alluding to. Something that I've been keeping on the back burner before I didn't even want to mention to you guys what could be happening, but I think I alluded to it last episode. I got the email saying that I've been accepted to the Portland, Maine Comedy Festival. It is a 4-day festival in Portland, Maine, if you can believe that. The 24th of August to the 27th, makes sense, where Mark Norman will be performing on the 27th. He'll be closing the show out. I think he's got 2 shows. He's got like the 8:30 and the 10:30, and that's on Sunday night. He'll be closing out the event. And I applied to it. It's cheap, right? It's not a whole lot of money to go, and it's 4 days of comedy. And I applied to it, and I got accepted. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Yahoo! Yeah, it was June 1st was the I guess the deadline date for them to email you to get accepted. And I got it that day, and that's going to be fun. I want to apply to more festivals. There's some festivals that will pay for your lodging, they'll pay for your travels, they'll do the whole shit, which is nice. That is nice. Those are probably the higher end ones. Probably the higher end, whatever. It's probably harder for me to get in. But nonetheless, these comedy festivals seem like a lot of fun, and I'm excited to do this one. But yeah, I figured I'll get that out to you guys. It's it was something that I didn't want to say, hey, I applied to the Portland, Maine Comedy Festival, because there's this thing that happens that we all do, that we tell all our friends our ideas, we tell them our goals, our plans or whatever, and they kind of, it kind of is the same thing in our minds as working on them or achieving them or whatever, because they're all, wow, that's cool, man, cool, maybe I'll show it, wow, that's awesome, and everyone's excited to hear it, but now you realize, hey, there's stuff I have to do, or hey, it didn't pan out how I thought it would, and now you look like a fucking idiot, James went through something similar, James Fanning. I don't know why I had to say his last name. You guys know who the fuck he is. But he, he had a similar thing where he thought he was going to get hired at a law firm, and it didn't happen for him. But he told everybody that it would because he was excited. It happens, guys. We see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we think we're there. We think we have the light in our palms and our fists, but we don't. Not yet, right? We see it. We see it, and that's the thing. And we want to tell people about it. And when we do, that's when things get fucked around. That's when shit, it's almost like we made it, right? Yeah, we made it. Nope, motherfucker, you're just telling people and it feels like you made it, but you didn't. You haven't done shit. You can't tell anybody shit until it's set in stone, which is why I waited till now. I'm hoping to get Raph to come, who's been on the show, Raphael. I want to get him to come so we can make some really good content. As far as, content goes, like I said, I had said that I was going to start a YouTube short series last week. I did not start it yet, but I am going to make a promise to you guys that this week is the week that we will be starting that. And as well, this week is the beginning of the old Simian clips. They're starting this week, Wednesday, every Wednesday from now until who the fuck knows. I have almost 2 years worth of Simian clips, almost 2 years. It's pretty fucking crazy, and where every week there's going to be a new one of those. Check my Instagram because I'm going to be tagging. Whoever it was that week, I'm gonna, I'll say a little blurb about the episode in my story, and then it'll be out there every Wednesday. A new clip from the old episodes, and then obviously, of course, every week we do the 2 clips from the new episodes, which is, I'm gonna stick to those. But the thing is I've already set the Wednesday ones. So those will be out regardless. Those are always going to come out. I don't need to remember anything anymore. All I need to know is who's on the actual clip. Who's the fucking, who's the person, what was the show about, whatever. That's all I really need to know. So again, like I said last week, content is going to be coming on YouTube 6 days a week. 6 days a week there will be content. Like I said, 2 episodes, as usual, 2 clips the days after those, YouTube short series on Saturdays, and then on Wednesdays, old Simian clips. The YouTube short series, I'll mention it again, is me breaking down certain comics, quick 60-second breakdown of a comic that I watched, I took notes on, which I do already. I already have a backlog of a bunch of them that I can work on, and we're gonna rock with that. I don't know what I'm gonna call it. We'll call it something. Maybe I won't call it anything. Who the fuck knows? But one more thing before I peace out of this. I got to watch Chris Rock do some work this past weekend. So another experience that was pretty fun. Like I said, the money around here, the money situation in life for everybody, shit is expensive. It just so happened that we're living in the most expensive fucking time there can be, with the biggest wage gap that there's ever been. And that's the time that I decide to move out on my own and pursue comedy and all this bullshit that I'm putting myself through. That it's perfect timing for my life. But so everybody's struggling. Everyone's struggling. So this past weekend, I worked with a company called Yonder. Yonder is the company that if you've ever gone to an event, a performance, a lot of performers are hiring a company like this to stop people from recording with their phones. So what happens is we put their phones in a pouch, we lock it up, we give them the pouch throughout the show. If they need it, they come out, we unlock it, and they come back at the end of the show to completely unlock it, and they have their phones back. Phones, iPhones, and people were so fucking frustrated. So mad. Nobody's ever angrier than lesbians. Two upset, unattractive lesbians, like, people were angry, but nobody was more angry than these two ladies. They were very, very upset. You thought this was, we were putting them on a train to Auschwitz. Well, these people were so absolutely distraught. It was like masks all over again, right? You can't do this. This isn't what we're supposed. Hey, take it up with Chris Rock, motherfucker. We're just here for the job. We're here for 20 an hour. We're here to stand for 20 an hour, listen to you guys bitch and complain, put your phones in the thing, shut the fuck up, and go watch the goddamn show. Go get a beer. What did Eddie Murphy say about Richard Pryor? Have a Coke and a smile and shut the fuck up. So that was a terrible Richard Pryor impression. But seriously, people bitching, complaining. It said it on the tickets. Read the fucking thing. Read it. It said, hey, we're going to be locking up your phones. Chris Rock don't want nobody recording shit. And for good reason. He's probably working on a special. Ego Death is the name of his tour. So he's probably working on an hour. He's probably been performing an hour so that eventually he's going to record it somewhere. It'll be great. The crowd in Connecticut didn't seem awesome, right? It didn't seem awesome. You're watching a legend in Chris Rock, and they're people, just, hey, he would know if they were good or not. He would know if they were a good crowd. He's been doing the hour, whatever. He would know. But from where the fuck I was standing and sitting and whatever the fuck, that guy, that crowd was lackluster. There were a lot of normie fucking cunty white people that were leaving. Oh, well, that wasn't as funny as I thought it would be. What the fuck? What do you want? Oh man, let me not get too crazy here. But once everybody was in, I was under the impression that maybe we could sneak a peek of the show, and I was wrong. We couldn't. So that made the whole fucking experience a little shittier than I wanted it to. But we had like a 15-minute break, and me and this woman that I was working with right next to me, we were talking the whole night. So we took our break at the same time. We were walking around the arena, and we looked at one of the security guards, and we're like, hey, well, she did it. She's like, hey, can we go in there? Can we just quick? We just want to look, sneak a peek. And we did. We got to watch Chris Rock for about 10 minutes. Close, too. Pretty fucking close. We could see him pacing the stage, going back and forth, and those 10 minutes were fucking hilarious. If I was in that crowd, I would be fucking crying. It was hilarious. It was hilarious, guys. Very, very funny. And Chris Rock is Chris Rock's one of the best fucking comics ever, but he's no stranger to controversy. And he was talking about controversial things, and I'm sure those normie fucking white people were, oh, well, this isn't what I thought. Go watch Jerry Seinfeld then. Go watch Jim Gaffigan. And no knock on either of those guys. Very, very funny comics. Sometimes they touch controversial shit, but most of the time, they're there to be clean. They're there to make you laugh. They're there to, they're making fun observations about life. Chris Rock is trying to get a message across with his comedy. He's trying to get a message. He's trying to say something to you. He's trying to hit you with something. These fucking depraved people that live in Connecticut want nothing to do with that. They just want a guy to go up there and say jokes about fire alarms, and they want some doofus up there to whatever. I'm sure. So Daniel Tosh is performing soon over there. I'm sure they're going to love him. Connecticut will stand up and sit down and stand up and sit down and stand up for Daniel Tosh. I bet they will. And he's funny. I'm not even trying to shit on Daniel Tosh, but he's probably more their speed. I'm sure Chris Rock looked at the fucking list, and he's like, fuck. We got to go to Uncasville, Connecticut, Mohegan Sun. Those people are... He probably knew. He probably knew that was going to be a tougher show. Crowd probably fucking sucks. But he knows that he's getting paid. 7,000 people. 7,000 people were there, guys. That's insane. Let's say, conservatively, right? $100 a ticket. Not true. He's making far more than that. That's 70 G's. 70 G's. It gets distributed, right, amongst his team and Mohegan and whoever the fuck else. But my God, I mean, he's obviously getting paid way more than that, way more ticket sales, whatever, his number. But it was great to witness a legend do his thing, very much so. And I wish I could have watched more of it. It could have been because, again, he is a phenomenal written comic. He's a phenomenal comic in general. Fucking hilarious. I have no... this is me sounding kind of stupid, right? To clarify that Chris Rock is one of the best comics ever. But he specifically is a very, very good written comic. And obviously when you're doing a big arena like that, you're not going to do crowd work. You could, but you're not going to. Not, you could. Whatever. But he historically has been known as a great written comic. And for me, that's kind of the style that I lean toward. I like to, write my shit, do it the way I wrote it, tweak it, whatever. I'm not too much of a riffer on stage or crowd work or a ranter, even though I'm a ranter on here. I don't really go too off script unless it's, whatever. Unless I feel super comfortable and the room is light or whatever the fuck. And even then, I still try to get through my material and work on it. And to watch a guy like that do it at the highest level probably would have been great. Probably would have been, I would have learned a lot and beneficial, yada, 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 yada. But nonetheless, it was great. Great experience. Got to see him. And I got paid. So who gives a fuck at the end of the day? Guys, thanks for showing up again on today, whenever the fuck you're listening. It is Monday. Get after it, I guess. I got to get after it. I want to go on a hike as I sit here speaking to you guys, but I don't have enough time. I got to be at work. Work, the destroyer of fun. The destroyer of fun, but the maker of funds, if you have an actual job. Me, I work for no money. I've already established that. I work for no money. Even in the place that I'm supposed to be making money, I don't make any. So, either way, that's where I'll be heading after this, shortly after this. You guys are probably on your way to work or on your way back from work, or you're at work and you're fucking off and you're listening to me instead. So, as far as dates go, all I have is June 18th, Broadway Comedy Club. Big show, going to be a fun time. I'm working pretty tirelessly on a solid set. Hot 5 minutes. Tight 5, baby. That's what we're looking for. So if you're in the area, if you want to make plans, whatever, it is, you can make that happen. The link to the tickets is in my bio on my social media. Maybe I'll put it in this. I doubt anybody's going to follow it, but... you use my promo code Antonio, save $5. That makes tickets, I think, $20 or $15. I don't know. Cheap enough. It's an early show, 6:30. Cheap enough, early enough, so you can come fuck around. You can go have something to eat after or eat before or whatever, and then do whatever the fuck you want the rest of the night. Thank you guys for showing up, listening, playing along, whatever. Talk to y'all on Thursday. Peace. I'm back to reiterate all the stuff that I said at the top of the show. Follow and subscribe. Bye-bye.